Oh,
Shadow Demon. All right.
they're
Getting interesting.
they're taking a page out of Neon Atomic's book. By the way, I was told that Vu is actually Yaha, and that is partially my bad. But he actually changed his name, so now things are easier for me to actually call him by his real name. Good for him. Excellent. Anyway, that's the reason I bring that up is because Yaha, Yaha.
I like the first way you said it.
Yaha.
Yeah.
He played Shadow Demon in the offlane a few times, actually, for Neon Atomic, and he did really well with it, too. He kind of crushed it. And it's looking like that could be the case again. The thing is about Geek Fam, look at their lineup. It's so flexible. Any hero can pretty much go anywhere at this point, although I do think the Murano will probably be a core.
Yes.
Yeah, I would assume, anyway. I guess we'll see.
So, it could be. I mean, is this Shadow Demon core or is it support?
That's the question. I don't know if Geek Fam actually played it. I can't remember. We have so many damn games going on in this tournament.
Because, in theory, Kunkka can also be support as well, right?
Yes, that's true. It's just Kunkka has been so commonly played in the mid lane as of recently. In fact, I've only seen him played in the mid lane in this tournament specifically. So, but you're right. I mean, it could theoretically be played in the support role. They haven't actually picked Shadow Demon for Geek Fam anytime recently. In fact, all of these heroes they have not picked, like at all, from what I'm seeing. Okay. That doesn't help us. They did pick Kunkka the other day. I guess that was 8 days ago. They lost Execration in this particular tournament. And they did play it mid for Chuan. So I guess that answers that question. It's probably a mid Kunkka. We got to the bottom of it.
Perfect. All right, Lone Druid comes out very strong when he gets his push on. Very dependent on having a pretty good early game, so you can have that Helm of the Dominator timing to knock down early tier 1 towers, but his lane phase is pretty good.
Yeah, this Lone Druid. We saw him yesterday. Kind of struggled. They just couldn't get the timing they were looking for with the Lone Druid pickup. What team was it? Damn it. Can't remember. I think it was actually Alpha Red that played it, and they went Coddle, Lone Druid, Gyrocopter, and they just could not get their item timings, and eventually they lost that game because he couldn't get ratings early enough. But I like Lone Druid. I think he's probably strong. They already have 2 tower pushers now because of the Lone Druid and the DK together. So taking objectives it's been critical, I think. Like, we saw yesterday, if you have an objective taker, you can actually, like, there's all these Tinker games and stuff like that, so it's hard to finish the game, but if you have objective takers and stuff like that, you actually have something to fight around. If you take a fight, you can actually take buildings, so.
Execration's been super good at that in all their games. They always have something that gives them either the Roshan control or building damage, and they've been playing off that quite nicely.
Yeah. They kind of have a bit of both here for Neon Atomic. Obviously more building damage than anything else.
Yep. And when you look at Geek Fam's lineup, there's none of that at all, right? They're all based around, like, they have to fight every engagement. They can't really be the ones to pressure towers because Neon Atomic takes it much faster than they do.
Yeah. And I'm wondering if what pick they have here that actually can get them to take objectives quickly. And the thing is, I'm wondering, like, if it might not even be a core because I don't know if they're going to have enough room to run another core here with the heroes they have currently. So this is just a weird draft in general, right? I mean, like, you do have really good Disable and Catch and Purge and Kunkka and all that stuff. It seems like a really weird draft for Geek Fam. Oh, there it is. I knew it. Oh, they're going to do it. Darkseer Sand King. It's so good. It's so strong. I love it.
This looks very good. You have your team fight. You have your building takers. The main thing that sells me on Neon Atomic's lineup is that ability to pressure towers, right? When you have a farm Darkseer with some sort of team item like the mech or the pipe sitting behind, even a Crimson Guard, it's just so much easier to play the game because all you have to do is sit, group together, and take team fights.
Yeah, and the way
it's
like Skylark played it really interestingly. I wanted to bring this up because I thought it was interesting. I told Jenkins yesterday. He went level 1 vacuum. Like, he obviously maxed Iron Shield. Then he went level 1 vacuum. Then he maxes Surge. Doesn't get boots. Then he goes for Helm of the Dominator into a hood, and then obviously into a pipe a little bit later into the game. And I thought that was a really interesting build. And Jenkins told me it was pretty common for this hero now. So it's kind of interesting.
Yep, people are skipping the boots to get to those items a bit faster, and you can just max the Surge earlier on too.
Yeah.
You don't need a whole bunch of points in the vacuum anymore, so it's very, very nice. Razor, okay.
Razor against Darkseer.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's very interesting, right? Because you just surge away.
Think, yeah. In team fights, right, that's awful, right? Whoever he links is just going to get surged away. But Shadow Demon is kind of a counter. The Demonic Purge keeps applying the Purge, so you can't actually surge someone. It just disables it instantly. So they'll have that as an answer, but Razor in general, not great against Darkseer, but Razor against Lone Druid and Dragonite, very, very strong.
Yes. And I'm curious, I guess Brian's playing the Kunkka. This is going to be not a mid Kunkka. It looks like they're going to maybe send like Razor mid for March, I think. Well, hold on. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, actually. Let me make sure that I'm actually correct in this. But it's very interesting that they picked the Razor, or not, excuse me, that they're leaning the way that they are. I'm very curious to see how this is going to go. Bryant has been playing, I think the 4 position Faded is their core, usually Chuan usually is their mid laner. And then Ollie's also the support too, so I'm curious to see how they're going. I guess we could just check the items, right? Let's just do that. That's
the easiest way to do it.
Okay, it is a Kunkka mid. He's going to have 2 shared tangos. Did they just switch? No?
Yeah, they did.
All right, well, I got trolled. Great.
It's for the cosmetics mod.
It's always for the cause. I don't know why.
Is important.
I always like every time after the draft, I was like, oh my god, what are they doing? Are they going to lay it so super differently? Are they going to have different roles? Then they just troll me with the cosmetics. Thanks. Great job, team.
Making us look stupid.
Well, I don't need any help from Geek Fan for that to happen, to be fair. Not you, me. But, well, it's going to be an interesting game. Again, this is a really weird draft from Geek Fam. Of course, Razor is good against these heroes. Neon Atomic have very good tower pressure. Geek Fam do not really at all. They have Avenge, which has Vengeator, which is nice to get extra damage. But other than that, tower pushing is not their, bread and butter. And I feel like if a Neon Atomic can win a couple of fights with the Darkseer and the Sand King, they'll get their items, they'll just take buildings. And there's not really anything that Geek Fam will be able to do unless they can get like a huge ghost ship or something. I don't know. That's how I feel about it.
For Geek Fam, when you have differences in lineups like this, it's really dependent on Geek Fam's lineup where they're not objective-based, but more fighting-based. They need to have a good lane phase and come off to a fast start. Otherwise, Neon Atomic will have their items early enough where Lone Druid gets his helmet with the Dominator, DK hits 6, Darkseer gets something, and then it's super easy for them to group up. And Geek Fam need to try to prevent that from happening the entire game until they have enough items. They're not that weak in fights when Kunkka has levels and he has Ghost Ship and everything, but it's just that Neon Atomic's lineup comes online much, much faster than theirs.
Yeah, I agree.
And it's more punishing, too.
And I do think that Geek Fam, they do have decent late game. Mirana, I think, is underrated in terms of her late game ability, and then Kunkka, of course, with Daedalus, can just win a fight on his own. But it's tricky. It's tricky to fight into this Neon Atomic team, or Atomic, or Neon, or whatever you would like to call it. And they have a lot to work with. So we'll wait and see how the laning phase shapes up and where they're going to send everybody. It looks like they see what's going on top, and they're running bottom for Geek Fam. They want to make sure they get the right laning matchups, which will be Mirana plus Shadow Demon bottom. And they're going to aggro try top, it looks like, with Green, Sugo, and Scoutalicious. And then it's Venge Razor up there. So this could be tricky. And this is an aggro tri lane, which we don't usually see anymore, which is rather interesting.
Yep, they're trying to dodge the Razor, but Geek Fam have read it properly, and they're switching the lanes up appropriately because Razor against Lone Druid, he just links the bear and he gets full damage right away. Yeah. Very difficult for Lone Druid to lean into.
It's pretty nice too because they don't use a TP, even though they miss out on like a creep or two or a full wave of experience or whatever. It's not that bad because if they do end up TPing Atomic, they could just Geek Fam can follow them, and then that would be perfect for them.
Yep, exactly. They have the lane matchups they want, but it is a tri lane, so they might be able to do things.
Wow, he went unstable current level 1 on the Razor. That's rather interesting. He's going to get Burrow Struck.
They saw it, too, so they know he has it.
Yeah.
So no link going to come out.
He is fine. Oh, he is almost not fine. Oh, that Tango. Oh my God.
Stunned in 2.
Yeah, he's dead. Bear hit. See ya. Green gets first blood. And the lane has been revealed successfully, and Razor not happy about that, I'm sure.
Okay, so Razor doesn't have Link. Venge has Terror. Okay, Venge is 2, but I think Terror is the right skill at level 1.
Yes. I mean,
this is so awkward now. When your Razor just doesn't have static Link, it's not an easy lane for him to begin with, just because there's 3 people, but he might have lived there if he was able to link one of these heroes targeting or chasing him down the entire time.
And the thing is, the wave's not pushing in either, so they have to pull with Bryant. But this is going to immediately push out because he's not going to be able to chain it. Although, they'll go on Sugo. The unfortunate thing is they don't have static link, so they can't actually steal damage and kill him. Not that it would have been tricky to do so anyway.
Yep.
He should get 2 relatively soon with the wave pushing in. They're going to try to pull themselves. They're going to miss it, it looks like. Good attempt from Scoutalicious to try to block the range creep. Doesn't happen. So March will get 3 creeps. This should lead into his level 2. So now he'll have his link. Now he can see us a bit more efficiently and not die as much. It should be fine. So we'll keep our eyes peeled top. And then I wonder if green is going to rotate at any point. This is so weird seeing this like tri-lane. You just like expect roaming to happen, but now that it's this meta, it's a little strange.
Yeah, the nice thing about them keeping these 3 heroes here is that Razor has no game at all, right? Like, look at how he has to play. Sitting in the trees, can't last hit. These heroes from Neon Atomic, they're just sitting in the trees. Bane hasn't been spotted. Well, he's been spotted now because of the range creep, but they're just keeping the Razor at bay. And bottom lane on the Yaha's Darks here, he's doing fine. He's getting experience.
Yeah.
So,
and
everything is A-okay.
Eventually, he's just going to get good farm, too, because of Iron Shell leveling up, and he'll be good to go. So I suppose the trade-off is that you are getting good farm for your Mirana. You would like to have free farm for your Kunkka as well, but he's a little far behind right now. Not that much, but it'll get easier with Tidebringer levels. So yeah, the Razor is like... And of course, the thing about Razor too is he's not the best hero to come back into a game with farming. He pretty much has to get kills, right? He just has to get kills in order to get back into this game once he's far behind.
He's a very... he's a hero that needs a good start. Otherwise, he never really comes online. When you don't have a good start with Razor, you just die when you come into fights. You're not tanky enough, not fast enough with, like, phase drums, for example.
Yeah.
And he's level 2. And he's got... Look at this wave. I mean, you've got the massive wave pushing away from Geek Fam's towers, so... There's going to be a huge amount of time where you just can't get experience.
Yeah, and that's the thing. If this, you know... If this was a normal, like, 2-1-2, you'd get at least some experience for Geek Fam, but this is a tri-lane they're up against, and the tri-lane is getting just as much experience as they are, which is pretty rough, because that means the Darkseer is getting solo experience bottom, or at least trying to. He's only at level 3, surprisingly enough, but things still will get better now that he's level 2 Ion Shell.
Yep, he gets zoned out a little bit because Mirana just arrows the Ion Shell creep, and then they deny all the creeps and attack him, but it's still so much better than Razor's situation, because with this level of farm, this hero just can't function in fights at all.
Yeah. So I'm curious how they're going to get him farm. It almost feels like he needs somebody to dive his tower, and then he gets like a link and he gets a kill. Speaking of linking, he's going to look for green, but green is a burrow strike, so at some point he's going to... Oh, he's just going to try to TP. Bryant wasn't there to get a magic missile off, sadly, so not much he could do about that, but... and I think this is a pretty good start for Atomic. They have a lot of CS advantage. Meanwhile, they're going to try to chase after green bottom, who rotated there, and is probably dead, actually. One more auto attack from Faded will get the job done, and Ollie's going to survive as well. Shadow Demon up to level 3, his level 1 Shadow Poison. Yaha out of mana, although he has a Soul Ring now, so... Green rotates bottom and dies anyways after escaping top.
Well, this should give some more room up top for Geek Fam. 5 minutes about just trying to take these banner runes. March takes the bottom one, so that's good.
He's actually just trying to rotate for bounty runes at this point. He has to. No magic missile. It's going to be close. Oh, my God. He literally had it. It was half a second too late. That's so sad. He even mangoed for it, too, by the way. I think. Maybe I'm wrong. I thought he did. But... no kill. At least they'll rotate the supports out. That's the kind of the good news here. That's the nice thing for Geek Fam, is that March can actually get some CS and try to get back into this game. He's only a level behind Scottish. Well, he's about to be 2 levels behind actually, but not the end of the world. Meanwhile, bottom green burrow strike up onto Faded. They had already used an arrow, level 3 Starstorm. Now the question I have is, what do you build on this Mirana hero now? Like, do you still go Ags? Do you think about going?
I'm really not sure what the preferred build is. Yeah. I don't... It might be Ags, but I'm not convinced.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. When I play with Carlo, of course, Carlo's not the leading authority. Of course, green gets a pretty sick dive kill onto Ollie, but it's going to be a return kill for Faded. Carlo usually likes going Aghanim Scepter. Aghanim still feels pretty strong, but I don't know. They keep buffing this Mirana's auto attack. Like, she gets better with agility gain. She has better auto attack damage now. It's just like... she could go, you know, auto attack based type of damage. They also buffed Mirana Leap in terms of attack speed too.
Yep, we've got to dive up top onto March's Razor. No TP's coming in. This is a dead Razor.
Heavy dive.
They whiffed the stun.
They missed the burrow strike, and he does have 9 stick charges, and he's going to get a full link off too on green. Green has no awkward. TP. He has no burrow strike. Ollie kills Mark in the mid lane in the meantime. That was a 3-hero rotation. This is so much space created for March and rather the rest of Geek Fam. If he can get that bear kill, it would be huge. They're going to keep going on him. He's already used the stick charges. Finally, the TP's come back in. March is still in trouble at this point. Still alive. Savage Roar comes out. Sugo is going to get slapped down. That was literally the thing I was talking about earlier. I don't know if you heard me say it, but I said, this is when March needs to dive under his tower, and boy, did he find it. Arrow hits on green, and my God, Faded just gets a double kill. That's a disaster because they just gave March a lot of farm and a way back into this game.
My goodness, that the whiff stun there set all that up. And TPs didn't even come in for an extremely long time, too. They thought they were coming in earlier, but it just didn't happen.
And Chuan, arrow, nice. But do they have the damage? This is a DK after all. Torrent is going to come in as well. Dragon Tail comes out. No ghost ship, it looks like. It's back up in 1. It's going to be tricky to hit, and it might be there. He's going to try to dodge it, and he does, and that might be the end of the fight. Unfortunately, Miranda does not do a lot of damage when she's up against a DK who has 1,000,000 armor. So, good try, though. Ooh. But that is scary. Running into Ghost Ship. He barely dodged it, too. He almost survives, or almost gets the kill, rather. Again, more space, though, for March in the top lane. Still a little behind. He's actually even with the Darkseer in terms of net worth, which I think is really good news for the Razor. Although I know you want more farm on your Razor than you want on the Darkseer, but still.
Yeah, they're a bit different heroes, but it's not bad considering the start he had.
Yeah, so not... I've said this a few times. It's not the end of the world, but maybe it will be at some point. Chuan getting run down to the mid lane. He will find a Torrent onto Mark, who doesn't have his Elder Dragon form. They are going to have a... That's an interesting looking TP animation. Arrow is going to come out. It actually misses. Green is probably dead. And they need another arrow, but... Is he actually going to get out of this? This is awkward. Ha-ha! He's actually going to make it out. Arrow? All right, maybe not. I spoke to you soon. That's so funny. I love when that stuff happens. I've juked you. Oh no, an arrow hit me in the face. I'm dead. It's the little things, Brax.
It is always little things, but what do we have for items? We have a Helm of the Dominator up on Lone Druid, so it is go time for him. DK has ultimate available as well, but pretty hard to push into the Kunkka just because of the wave clear.
Did he do any tower damage with the ult? He actually didn't do that much with the first Elder Dragon form.
Not at all.
Yeah.
The wave dies so fast, it's actually really hard for him to get to the tower.
Yeah, good news for the Kunkka. The fact that they haven't lost any buildings yet is pretty good. I know it's only 9.5 minutes into the game, but the more they stall, the more farm this Mirana gets. She is going to go Dragonlance, so you can forget about the Aghanims, at least for the first item. And it looks like she'll probably end up going for an auto-attack type build. But
okay, it's nice to see. I think... you know, just scales better.
Faded knows that Atomic are on the high ground, but they also know that Fade is down on the low ground. Sugo's going to hit up with an arrow. They have a Torrent to follow up. It will hit, and the Starstorm, along with the lead attack speed, will secure the kill. They can almost X-Marks green, but he actually got up to the high ground. Meanwhile, they'll find a double damage rune for either Chuan or Faded, whichever one wants it, and they'll secure a free kill. So, nice kill, nice rotation, and they get a D-Ward from Ali. Nicely done.
D-Ward's huge.
He's rich, 120 gold. He's in there. And he's also level 6, by the way. Level 3 Shadow Poison, level 1 Demonic Purge. And he'll maybe try to find Mark with a Purge here. X marks.
There's the X.
Ghost Ship combination. Demonic Purge comes out as well. They did have the raindrops, so he's very tanky. They might need to consider backing. And he's super tanky, actually. Oh my god.
It's like they need the Mirana to actually kill anyone.
Yeah. This DK pick is going to be pretty rough. I almost feel like you want to just like build Silver Edge or something for Faded at some point in the game. I know it might not need it now, but maybe at some point. Anyway, still, March has got himself back into it. He's only a little behind the Kunkka now, level 7, so he's got some extra experience, although Green is rotated up top. They're going to go for Bryant. It should be an easy kill. He's 6 charges, not going to get him off. And they'll secure it with 3 heroes rotating top. However, there is not even a smoke. They were just running bottom. Okay, I thought it was a smoke. Scottalicious, they're getting the control ping. The Torrent just misses him. They have the X marks. The unfortunate thing is it's level 1. Or, no, it's not. It's level 3. Okay, they could have hit that, but didn't quite get there. Never mind. And nice play from Scottalicious to back up behind the tower. The bear will try to go on to Chuan, but we might see a trade. There's no DK. All right, DK just rotated top. I was wondering where he was. His Elder Dragon form is up in 8 seconds. They really want this tower. I've seen this movie before. March might survive again. He'll pop his ultimate. Stick charges come out. Breathe Fire misses.
Healthy.
and he should be alive for at least a little bit. He only gets 47 damage, but the Nightmare does come out. Burrow Strike coming in. They need the Ghost Ship coming in. They will secure at least one of these kills. Yaha, no, he sticks up and he survives the Torrent, not hitting onto the target he wanted it to. And Yaha's going to live. They grip him as well, and Faded is in. They're going to try to find Sugo. They hit the arrow to keep Chuan alive, but that turns into a 1-for-1. They do keep their tower alive. They use the Moonlight Shadow. They're going to try to chase after Mark, but this is a very low Kunkka. He doesn't have that much HP. Faded is going to walk right in front of him. And that could have been even better for Geek Fam.
Yeah, that was such a deep dive, and they didn't have any reveal. You always have to play with Dust against this Mirana. It's hard to remember.
Oh my god, you're right. I didn't even think about that component. Yeah, they could have gotten way more out of that. And the grip gets canceled immediately. By the way, I don't think Ollie had a TP, so I don't think.
Oh yeah, it's on cooldown.
So he didn't like that. Could have been a full like 5-on-4 type of engagement for Geek Fam. And they still keep their tier 1 tower in the top lane alive, although they did lose the mid tier 1 finally. And it was, I think, denied by Bryant. And here we go. Speaking of Bryant, he's going to run right in. They're going to look for a dive here. They have the Ghost Ship back up. Good swap. Magic Missile comes out. Ghost Ship should hit onto green with the X marks, so he didn't time it correctly. And now they're in some trouble. They are getting dove. This time the dive is going to be pretty rough, and Tron has to... Nah, he doesn't have a TV scroll. He's probably dead. He has a Quelling Blade. He'll eat his way through. There's a ward that almost scouted him. They just saw him. He's dead.
Yep.
See you later. Good effort, Chuan, but they made their home in the top lane for the last 5 minutes. They'll finally get the tower. There will be a trade, albeit not a good one for Geek Fam, but... Oh, they canceled that TP. That was awkward. So, pretty good set of events there for Atomic after finally getting that kill and the tower top lane.
So it's only a less than 1,000 gold lead for Geek Fam, but the Mirana is very strong at this point of the game. She's going for the Maelstrom next, but high levels, ready to fight. And it feels like Neon Atomic haven't really gotten going yet. They only have two tier 1 towers, which is fine, but they're also giving up towers of their own.
Yeah.
It feels like they should have more gold.
Oh, I agree completely. I know the Lone Druid is still working on, like, getting Radiance and getting his items, so eventually he'll be online. Of course, he hasn't really been involved. He's just been farming. That might be the issue, is that Geek Fam can fight like 5-on-4. The green is going to find Bryant, and in fact, Ollie's going to be the target. He still has Epicenter. Rip comes out onto Sugo. They swap him, and Ollie's going to survive finally. Green's going to get hit by the Ghost Ship, and he is going to be in trouble. He'll get poisoned and auto attack down. They have the Surge onto Sugo. The Wave of Terror is there. They need a Magic Missile. They didn't have the range, unfortunately, and they're only going to get a kill onto the Sand King out of that. But still, they'll probably pressure this tier 1 tower as well. Man, I can't believe he actually survived on that Shadow Demon. That was insane. I wanted to ask you, by the way, the new Maelstrom, what do you think about it for, really just for everybody?
It's better.
Yeah.
It just does more damage in general.
And you can see the Mirana's getting it, too. So, I like it a lot, too. Wind Ranger especially, I've noticed, is really good on.
Yeah, it has more of an identity now, right? You'd want to pick it up on these heroes that have some sort of attack they can use from long range to try to get that proc because it does more damage rather than it having attack speed on it.
Yeah.
Makes a bit more sense now. The item has, you know, it's got its own unique thing.
You know, and used to be, I heard this conversation a lot when I used to use NA Dota, was that why would you pick up Maelstrom on a hero like Mirana if you want to farm? You could just get other items or like, it just, that's what it felt like. You just got the item to farm a bit quicker on the hero. At least that was the case a long time ago. And it's a nice item on the way to Mjolnir, but now it actually feels like it's useful in a lot of these early game situations.
Yep. It actually does a lot of damage now.
Yep. I'm excited. I'm excited for
it really shows on other heroes that pick it up really commonly, like Pangolier or Mirana. Not Mirana, sorry. Windrunner.
Yes.
And what's the other guy? Ember Spirit.
Yep.
Those are the big heroes that always pick it up.
Yeah. Pangolier, people used to build the old Maelstrom too. Shannon was a big advocate of the old Maelstrom because you just clear the wave immediately. You can still do that now, but you actually do more damage too, which is nice.
Right, because of the Javelin buildup.
That's true. I forgot completely about the Javelin thing, and that you want to go triple Javelin or double Javelin on Pangolier, build into whatever afterwards. Yeah, that's a good point. It's a good build now. Mirana's getting close. Actually, she's sending it out right now. She is, in fact, bottom, so if they take a fight here, they need to be careful. Do they have Blink yet on the Sand King? They do not. And nor do they have some sort of initiation tool for the DK either, so It's a little tricky to approach this fight for Atomic, but I don't know how Geek Fam, how long they want to stay here.
Well, the game's about to get a lot better for Atomic. Green almost has Blink Dagger. Lone Druid is super close to his Relic, and once he gets Radiance, the game gets super, super easy. And Darkseer, 300 gold away from Mech, so they're about to hit all their item timings, which is fantastic when you have a push lineup. That's essentially what they have, right? They want to hit their item timings, group up, run down lanes, hit towers, take some fights, and they can abuse their objective taking power.
Yeah. It's going to be tricky for Geek Fam to fight into this ratings pair, especially. They have some pretty squishy heroes. And the ratings burn will be kind of a nuisance to the Mirana, especially. And I wonder if they're going to smoke with this Blink for the Sand King or if they're just going to wait.
It's go time.
They have one, so they're just going to do it immediately. Time to go. Also, the Shadow Blade was just picked up for the DK2. He literally just got that item. It is almost certainly go time. And if they don't find an amazing fight here, I would be shocked. And Green's going to look for the Burrow Strike Initiation, which he will find. They'll use the Moonlight Shadow. I hope they have detection. They finally do dust. And they've got a grip coming out. Good Dragon Tail. Vacuum onto the 2. Bryant's in trouble. They'll kill March. Bryant still getting chased down. Faded's going to try to fight this, surprisingly. Sugo, they're looking for the Ghost Ship. That's just on a Bane. And he is going to die, but it's Bane for a Razor now. If they can find anybody else, it would be nice. Somehow the Vengeful Spirit is still running away from Yaha, who's going to Ion Shell. They're going to have a Magic Missile, which they will use. They're going to fight around the shrine. They miss the arrow. It was so close. Yaha's still surged up. They've got the Shadow Blade, and now Ollie's in trouble. That's a buyback, and Ollie's going to die. It looks like Epicenter coming out. Yaha got a pretty low from Faded, but now the Epicenter doing some damage. The auto attack damage coming in. There's the Burrow Strike. Faded can't afford to die. He's the strongest hero on this team, and he, in fact, will go down. That's going to be a 2K lead now for Atomic and a 2-for-1 engagement. They did buy back, of course, on the Sand King, I think, but whatever. Or, excuse me, the Bane, sorry.
Definitely worth it. That was a fantastic initiation at the very beginning in the mid lane. All right, they got the Blink Burrow, then the Sleep with the Grip off and the Vacuum. This is such a combo that's been hard to fight forever. Like, this is a... This is a back to TI3 lineup again. Dragon Knight and Darkseer together with Lone Druid.
The good old
days. You just surge the DK. You have the splash damage later on for the Vacuum combo, too. I mean, they're super hard heroes to fight at this stage of the game. And then you add a Lone Druid on top of that where you just have building damage. Oh, it gets disgusting.
He didn't even have ratings during that fight, which is pretty surprising. Yeah, I don't... This game seems kind of hard now for Geek Fam, but going back to your point with TI3, everything seems so cyclical in Dota. It always comes back around, you know? Other than Troll Sniper, that meta probably won't ever happen again, because that was ridiculous. Dang it. What are you talking about? You're crazy.
Missing out on the glory days.
Were you one of the Troll Sniper pickers when you played pubs back then?
No.
Thank God. I was.
It just gave me a great satisfaction to beat it.
It's true.
It never happened, but, you know.
God, that rubber band with the first patch before they got, like, the B patch coming out was so ridiculous. Mark is going to get purged up. Now they have an Ancient Prowler Shaman, but the vacuum into the wall. This is trouble now for the Dire. Geek Fam, they got the grip onto, of course, that poor Razor. Ghost Ship comes out. It's a little too late, though. There's still a lot of damage coming in, but look how tanky everybody is for Atomic. They have the mech as well. It's going to be a double kill for Scottalicious with the Lone Druid out with his Radiance doing some serious work. And they couldn't even, like, get the Ancient stack or anything. Burrow Strike's going to find Schwan. This game feels pretty good for Atomic right now as Mark gets yet another kill. And I just don't know how you're supposed to fight into that. Like, they survive. They're so tanky. How are you supposed to kill any of these heroes on Atomic?
Yep, and it's Radiance time, too, for the Lone Druid, so it just gets even worse and worse. Honestly, how can they jump? You know? The X setup is really slow, and it's not going to work in these actual teamfight situations where they just get Blink Sand King stunned or vacuum together.
Yeah.
And the Venge stun is nice, but it's really difficult to even get in range to use that. It's nothing compared to a Blink Sand King stun with a vacuum on top of it.
Yeah, that combination is shown to be very good in this game, and really over the last 3 games we've casted so far in this tournament, or in the last few days of this tournament. But
yeah, they just have some major initiation problems, but you know, maybe they can pull off some shenanigans with Moonlight Shadow. It does make these fights a bit more chaotic and messy.
Yeah, that's true, but at some point you would have to imagine they're going to invest in a gem, correct?
Yes, especially with a lead that they're starting to build up. Like, Lone Druid has the siege creep too, so when he battle cries, this thing, like, it kills towers in like 6 shots. It does a stupid amount of damage.
Is that what just happened? Is that where you said Jesus Christ?
Yes.
Okay. That's not surprising. Spirit Bear, God, it's so slow with attack speed until they finally pop the rabbit, and it's just like, haha, I have taken your building. There's nothing you can do about it. Atomic are Only 4K up, which is surprising. Also, Geek Fam just smoked on a ward. Time to back up. Scottish is going to sit under his tower. They're going to find a DD for this DK. This is not the time to fight if you're Geek Fam. They don't know, of course. They're going to get scanned.
Oh, they did hit the scan. Okay.
Yeah, and if Geek Fam walk down this low ground, there is a very good chance they just die. Although, I don't know where this Lone Druid is going.
Lone Druid is really good at scouting this, right? Because he can have his bear in front and then has hero like over a cliff.
Yeah. I suppose that's what he's doing. He's making sure. They're going to surge him in, too. Still hasn't found him yet, and he's not going to find him, it looks like. Smart play from Geek Fam to back up there. If they take that fight with a DD on the DK, that fight probably goes horribly for them. Also, considering they didn't have the Kunkka there either. So.
Yep, they did get that nice deep ward down, so they have some more information to work with, and another one that just got him a Lone Druid. So
he missed the
now
sentry.
they can actually... Oh, boy.
Oh. Sorry.
That's okay.
Anyway, BKB up for Mark. They finally finished the Shadow Blade for Chuan, who is like 3k gold behind them. And boy, does he need some farm. This Kunkka, like, you could forget about Daedalus. I mean, he needs BKB. Like, he's not really going to do any damage in these fights, it feels like.
He's struggling to keep up in terms of farm because they're just forced to fight so much. It's just Lone Druid running down a lane safely. Lone Druid's even going into the pipe. So, what's the pipe for, Mon?
I guess they think the only way they lose a fight is if they get Starstormed and
okay, he switches it up. He's got the AC in his quick.
You know, sometimes you just gotta, you just shift by stuff just randomly. You know, sometimes I'll put a rapier on my shift by. Sure, I'm trying to. I don't know why I'm trying to make excuses for Scottalicious here.
Oh, he's setting goals.
That's true. This actually might not be a bad fight, although the Link doesn't do very much. They dusted Geek Fam, so they're actually slowed. They're going to find the bear instead. They're going to run and try to fight this. The wall has been dropped down. They have the disruption. Chuan needs to get off this ghost ship desperately. Epicenter coming out. Ali is dead. Faded is on the high ground when he's doing some damage, but look how tanky they are. With Mech coming out, they just don't take any damage, especially with March not getting any Link damage. He's going to die too. It's very simple for Atomic. That's literally, you just, even with not the best initiation there with the wall dropped on just one person, it doesn't matter. It's so simple for them to take engagements.
Yep, it is ridiculously easy for them to fight. It's so simple, right? All they have to do is sit back with their Lone Druid and just wail into anyone and protect them. And they have the, I mean, they've got everything they need to do it.
Yeah, I think the draft has just been, it's just really good in this game for Atomic, way better than Geek Fams, and I think they're going to have to go back to the drawing board. I know the game's not over yet, but it's a 7k lead, and I don't know how you ever fight into this team. You're not going to have enough damage to do it. And it's not like you have that big team fight ultimate to turn it around. Even with a ghost ship, it's not going to do enough damage now. So
this is like when their lineup kicks into overdrive, right? They've got all their items. They're super, super strong. It's just go time.
Yeah. I mean, they don't even really need to wait for anything else. BKB, Shadowblade is all they need of the DK. Plus, he has level 3 ulti, and now this is really troublesome for them. Extra slow and attack speed and all that good stuff. And they're going to have a good old time. They could take Roche. I'm surprised they're not doing it. I guess if they get Ghost Ship and they get 5-man Ghost Ship, they could still lose a fight. So they're going to play carefully and try to keep the waves pushed out. This Mirana, the issue is that she's playing into a DK. And really, they're going to have AC too. So she is not going to do any damage, even with Maelstrom, Dragonlance. And she's building a Lincoln Sphere now, which is going to help only a little bit in terms of the damage issue. So, and she's the main damage healer, right? So what is she actually going to do?
Yeah, I mean, she does need to stay alive to be able to fight, right? But it's just one of those cases where you need so many items to actually, you know, operate.
And you could see it in that last fight where she was plinking the Sand King. She hit him like 3 or 4 times, and he didn't get that close to dying, to be honest. So maybe the disruption illusions will help if they do it in a fight. She will stay alive, so she has the Lincoln Sphere now. She hasn't really died in any of these fights, to be fair. She's only got 1 death. It comes down to what is her next item going to be. And what does she buy to actually do damage in the engagements, though, Brax, is the question.
Yeah, I don't know. It's there is some mischance from the Radiance, of course, so maybe MKB. MKB is actually a very high damage item, mathematically.
Yes. We've done the numbers. We have determined MKB, good item for damage. We've crunched them. She's very far away from that, though. And
yep. Here we go.
That's a double burrow strike into Vacuum Wall, into Grip, into Brian Stead, into Chuan leaving, and getting Dragon Tailed and also dead. and giving Scottish just a double kill. So that's probably going to be either Roche or some sort of high ground or tier 2 push. Luckily, there's a tier 2 mid, so they can't go high ground yet. But the game gets worse and worse for Geek Fam.
Yeah, unless they pull out some miraculous team fights, Atomic have pretty much hit their peak. You know, this is exactly where they want to be. The only thing that actually makes it better is Roshan.
Yeah. They're doing everything they need to. I'm just wondering why they drafted such interesting heroes. I know the Razor was good in theory, but he got Tri-Lane against, which was a really smart choice for Atomic. You know, I like seeing Shadow Demon, but he didn't do that much work as a support. He died a lot. I don't know if the Venge actually accomplished anything. Theoretically, Minus Armor is going to be good with the heroes that they have, but it's not like a Slardar Minus Armor, I guess.
Yeah, their goal is definitely to hit a better lane phase time, right? They really wanted the Razor against a Lone Druid, but they played the musical lanes, and Neon actually tri-laned it, and their tri-lane was very, very strong against what the Razor wanted to do, because he wants to sit there and link the bear so he can last in denial of creeps, but when there are 3 heroes in your face, you can't really do that.
No. And of course they didn't have Link level 1, which might have saved his life and stopped them from getting first blood. But and I think it was a big shock to me that they did tri-lane, and they did tri-lane as long as they did. You know, when you think about this meta now, I think people are reacting in the way that, like, oh, tri-laning's dead, oh, roaming's dead, we can never tri-lane again. I don't think that's true, right? Especially after what we saw today, or in this game.
Yeah, not at all. Darkseer's perfectly fine on his own, and there's nobody that can actually help him in that scenario, so... Guys, every game is different.
Yeah, it comes down to the heroes that you have, right? It's a case-by-case scenario. You're absolutely right. And
it's a case-by-case scenario, but the goal is the same every game.
Yeah.
To be able to lane.
That's why 2-on-2 is so popular now. You just pick the ridiculous dual lane, and you just try to get the advantage in lane instead of, you know, giving your off lane or nothing, you know, letting him get just 0 farm. Which the Darkseer, of course, against the Mirana Shadow Demon, he doesn't care. They're going to never really, unless they can arrow him, I mean, they can do a lot of damage, but they're never really going to kill him.
He's almost never in threat of actually being killed, so
yeah,
that's why they can afford to just leave him down there. And he's in the safe lane, so he's going to get experience.
He had a great old time.
He did indeed. Orchid from Dragonite going into a Nullifier next. Very interesting.
He's going to be Doom, essentially.
Pretty much.
With a longer stun and more damage.
A better Doom.
Yeah, he's a better Doom. He requires a little bit more money to get there, but whatever. It's fine. Orchid Nullifier is like... It honestly feels like the game ender. If you're able to get to an Orchid Nullifier at a reasonable time, you're probably far enough ahead that you're going to win. And if you're not far enough ahead, you're going to win because of those 2 items, I think. Usually. It's just so strong.
Yep, it just shuts down these heroes, and it's fantastic for when a hero counters you like the Razor. All of a sudden, Razor can't cast any abilities or use any items, right? Then it doesn't matter if his hero was picked to counter you with a static link or whatever. It just doesn't do anything.
The BKB user that is a Razor is no longer a BKB user, although he doesn't even have it in this game. They found the Torrent onto Mark. He does have Elder Dragon, but of course he would like to not die, even with the Aegis. And he might. He's taking a little damage. Static Link comes out onto the bear, but he only links how much? 98. Well, I say only. It's still pretty good. They're going to back up for a moment. They don't want to lose the siege creep, and they're going to go again. In the meantime, Faded is forced to push in the mid lane. They find the grip onto March. Good disruption save. They're looking for a Burrow Strike initiation. They'll jump in. Vacuum comes out. Eul Scepter for the Razor keeps him alive, but he is still in trouble. Swap out to keep him up and ready to go, but Bryant will die to Mark and the Entangling Claws of the Bear. Faded does have a DD, and they're going to push him back with it, so that's good news, I suppose. You know, and the Elder Dragon form is going to go down here in the next, like, 3 seconds or so, or 10 seconds or whatever.
Yep, it's right about to be out, but double damage is also ticking away, but it doesn't even matter. It still feels like double damage isn't enough damage.
Yeah, I agree completely. This Mirana should be doing more. Vacuum comes in into the Burrow Strike. Good BKBs coming out. They get a Starstorm or 2, and that's going to get green. But in the meantime, Chuan is already dead. Faded has jumped in, killed both the supports, which is really important now. Or excuse me, Green is still alive, but he's going to blink him down anyway. That's a triple kill for Faded. That DD started doing some work finally. He's going to get Orchided. They can't chase him down, but the damage is already done. The racks have been taken. They even had to buy back in Chuan. They need an X Marks. They do have it. They need Vision. Where's the X Marks? They're going to use the Dust. Mark he's been left on his own. They see him. They're going to Torrent. Now they're going to wave. He actually is going to lose, I think, both of his lives. He has no BKB. Man, they ditched him super hard.
Oh, yeah. This is a double death right here.
They're even going to ghost ship him. This is going to be some hate. Jesus Christ. See you later, Mark. I hope you enjoy being stunned for a year and a half. Okay. They actually they required DD to win a fight. Not only do they require DD, they also require that their base die in the process to actually be able to take a fight where they can engage perfectly. Oh man, this game's so hard.
Yeah, it's ridiculously hard for them.
Well, it's the sign of something, you know. Let me give you a hypothetical here, Brax. Stay with me, okay?
Okay. Hit me with it.
The game goes 30 minutes longer. Kunkka eventually buys the 2 items that he needs to win the game. He gets a big cleave, and the Mirana starts dishing out the damage. Of course, she'll be super farmed too. Neon Atomic somehow don't find another, 20k gold in that period of time. Somehow, I don't know how that is. And Geek fam are able to take the fight. What do you think, bud?
A lot of hypotheticals here, Mont. You know what that means? Unlikely.
But still, there's got to be a chance. I mean, there's a chance. There's always a chance. Usually.
Usually, I agree. High ground is still a whole beast of its own, right? Feeding on the high ground is one way to lose the game. And Mirana does have the top net worth in the game. Well, as I say, that Lone Druid overtakes her, but she's very farmed.
Yeah, she needs to be. It just feels like any other hero with this amount of farm would have been able to do actual damage, is the sad thing.
What are you trying to say?
Oh, I think you know what I'm trying to say. I think that this Mirana pick doesn't do damage. I think
she does take a bit longer to deal high amounts of damage.
I haven't seen enough Mirana late game with this type of build recently to know if it's going to be worth it or not. I think if she can get to this data list, I might be sold on her getting at least some kills on the supports, which, she needed a DD to do that last fight. And,
yep. She's still always going to have to worry about the potential Orc and Nullifier combo coming out from Dragon Knight later on.
If she can get the BKB off, like if the Lincoln Sphere breaks, you need a BKB immediately and just try to take the fight that way.
DK is going to stun Orc and Nullifier instantly. And if Ramona doesn't react in time or if they don't have detection, then it's lights out for her.
And
Geek fam need a Lotus Orb mod.
Yes.
That's what they need against it.
Yeah, agreed. Completely. That would be huge.
They have Disruption, which helps against the grip, but they'll also need a Lotus Orb for this.
And nobody's building into it. I don't think anybody's going to be able to get the money. Mark is on the high ground here. They're wrapping all the way in mid. They're going the wrong direction, sadly. Unfortunate for them. Although Ali is going to break his smoke. They're going to see Sugo. They need Demonic Purge. He is trying to get a gem. Sugo might be dead. Demonic Purge. Range. Not there. Okay, they're going to just back up. Arrow came through. Doesn't hit. Elder Dragon form. Ali's going to try to TP. He might die. Somehow he gets out. I am very surprised. They're going to find the Burrow Strike onto Chuan. They need to leave immediately. Immediately. Whatever. Chuan BKBs. He's going to go for the TP. They'll find Bryant. Whatever. No big deal. He won a buyback, but he's actually 40 gold away somehow. He's not enough money for... Buyback costs nothing for this Vengeful Spirit. Jesus.
That's how you know you're poor.
So, but he really needs it. He's still 30 gold away. Somebody go take a tower. Oh, it's not going to be in time. Vacuum comes out. Burrow Strike. Good BKB from March and Faded. Static Link coming in. They have already popped the mech. Giron's dead. They're doing it! They're winning the fight. Sugo gets off a grip, but he's dead too. And now Mark has to back up. The Lone Druid also backing himself. They're going to kill Mark. They're doing it, Brax. The Mirana damage. March gets a full link off. Yaha's going to fall as well. No buyback needed for the Vengeful Spirit. March finds a double kill. This game is going to get a little bit more interesting, my friend.
My goodness. You know, it looked good, right? The vacuum combo baited out the BKBs right away. The Sand King stun, of course, they were BKB'd, but at that point, you imagine you'd be able to reset, and then just wait for those BKBs to come out. But they have nothing against BKB at all.
Yeah.
Nothing.
They have to get their abilities and items off before the BKBs come out. That's exactly what they're fighting and team and their items are based around. So I almost think that it would be better served if the Sand King goes in first, before anybody else, so he can get off a Burrow Strike and they can follow up with all those abilities and items that they have, I suppose.
Yep, it's so crucial to be able to get those, get the initiation off before Mirana BKBs, right? And even if they don't get like a big 3-man vacuum stun, just getting the Mirana could be enough. Dragon Knight did not go for the Nullifier. He bought a Blink Dagger so he can actually initiate properly.
Okay.
That Orchid makes him not tanky at all, right? That's like a completely damage-based item. If you can't use it effectively, it's not doing anything for you in fights. It's very good when you're ganking on the side lanes, but in team fights, not that strong when BKBs are prevalent. So we just need to wait for some items.
Yeah, I think so. The important thing for Atomic is not to panic. You've already got a set of racks. The thing is also, Lone Druid built an Aghanim's, so he's constantly pushing in these waves. And that was a good choice, considering there was no guarantee that they win those fights. So with the Aghanim's, they can control the map, they can wait for the next Roshan, which is up in a minute, and they could go from there. So no need to panic yet. But there are some more items coming out for Geek Fam, though, in the process. Of course, the Hurricane Black was just finished for the Mirana, so she's still not doing as much damage as she would like. March has picked up a BKB. Of course, he had that a while ago. Now working on an Ags and Shiva's guard. I'm not sure. Oh, he's going to buy Shiva's first. Scottalicious, if they had vision here, he would be dead. Chuan seems to know something is up. The bear, if it comes out, he knows. He's going to miss the torrent. Oh, no, he found it. Scottalicious is probably dead. Ghost Ship, Static Link. He has no BKB. He has a TP scroll, of course, but he is just sitting there. He literally just sat there and accepted his death. There was not much else he could do.
Yep, he knew he was dead there.
They couldn't get the bear, though, which is the issue. And the bear has a moonshot on him, by the way. Cool.
I mean, the bear's the real hero at this point in the game, right?
It's true. Scottalicious does nothing other than resummon a bear. Mark, gonna get disrupted. They have the gem. They're gonna set up for the arrow. He blinks out in time. They needed some more damage there. Roche. Oh, no. Walk back in. Oh.
Is the Terra going to see it?
Oh.
It sees
it. Saw it. It saw it.
Oh.
It saw it. Brian even throws another wave of Terra. Wow, what a cooldown on this thing.
Things like this are what's so beautiful about the game. You know, the random Terra into the Roche pit, it catches the Roche and respawning at the last possible second.
This might not be so good, though. Yaha, vacuum, but they're not going to BKB. And that vacuum's a long cooldown. We know it's 26 seconds. And they're going to have to try to find a burrow here. They need some vision on the high ground, though. There's no vision for Geek Fam up onto this high ground. This is a tricky play for both teams. Roche is getting low. Lone Druid's still dead. They have to go back. Look at the base. Look at the base.
Oh, boy. The bear's in the base.
This is so critical. They're TPing Chuan home. They need to be able to deal with the bear. The X marks it back. No, the X marks Chuan back. Mark has popped his Elder Dragon form. The Banish comes out. They're going to drop the wall. They're going to static link more than likely here. Vacuum comes in. Mark's taking a fair bit of damage with Demonic Purge coming out. Not dead yet, though. Burrow Strike at the supports. Mark's going to die unless they have some vision. Do they have vision? They don't have vision. Yaha now on the run. He has surged back in one. Can he make it away? No, they've got the Purge coming in from that Razor, which is able to bring him down. And they're going to try to get Rax. Faded is forced to go back home. Now they buy back on Yaha. There's no Sand King, but the Lone Druid has returned. Not that it matters. It's really the bear that is everything. Wall is still up. Mark is still alive. Elder Dragon form is going to be on cooldown pretty soon. The Torrent does come in. Vacuum. They don't have BKBs. Bryant might fall here if he's not careful. The Savage Roar, and they're turning it right around. He's forced to buy back. Faded is running in. The wall is still there. Finally, it dissipates. X marks. They're going to have to find Mark here. No BKB. They've got the Banish coming in with the disruption, looking for Scottalicious. Air will sail through. It's not going to hit, though. Static Link is up on the mark. It gets 87 damage. Now they can try to take Roche, and I think they're going to be able to get it. It's going to be really low, and they've got it. That's going to be Ages and Cheese going the way of Geek Fam. Can they get anything else with this is the question. They might just want to back up and get back to the base and sit up again. Can they find the bear? Oh! Oh! That was almost
Oh, boy. Yep. Is it act? Okay, it's out. So, but Mont, this game's in full rat mode now. Glyph has been used in the last fight, and Lone Druid Bear is just going to be looking at the side lanes, just pushing him out, trying to rat this base. Geek Fam are going to struggle to leave their base, but they finally have a gold lead.
Yeah, for the first time in the game since about the 7-minute mark, but that really wasn't an advantage. It was about even at that point, but they'll have bots for the Kunkka. He's not going to go for the Daedalus. He knows his job is more important to try to find the Lone Druid Bear and to keep the base pushed out as best as possible. It's really coming down to Faded and March doing the damage, and March is coming to his own. He has Shiva's Guard now. He is the Gem of True Sight. They need to be very careful with how they approach these fights because they could still die with a really good initiation from Atomic. It's all about the BKB times for Geek Fam and trying to keep the wave pushed out as much as possible, which is tricky because Spirit Bear is just going to keep cutting the wave, so that's pretty rough. Uh-oh.
I really like this Mirana talent choice, by the way. The Invis cooldown.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. That's the level 25, right? Yeah.
Yep.
What's the cooldown, actually, then? 20 seconds? That's pretty insane. Do they have a gem? I would assume so. They don't. Okay. It's really good, then. It is insanely good.
Yep, makes everyone faster, too, so it kind of counteracts the dust slow. If they don't have detection at all, it's going to make these fights miserable, but look at the bear bot. It's in the base.
There it is. And
pulling all these shenanigans.
He's going to try to go through back door. Clearly, it's not going to work. Good Savage Roar, so the bear can get recalled. It doesn't want to just yet. And there it goes. He's playing it smart. You know, he's not letting the bear ever get hit, which is good. They did take the tier 2 bottom. So I don't know how much they're going to actually be able to get done with this Aegis. You know, they got the tier 2, but that might be the extent of the damage done to Neon Atomic's base.
Yeah, and they're always going to have that XTP to defend against the Lone Druid Bear. Like, it is a valuable tool that most lineups don't have to do a split push.
You know, I said we mentioned what is the late game going to be like for Geek Fam. We're starting to see it now. Green is in the tree line, and if he gets Shadow Poison, he is dead. And Ollie, luckily for him, does not use it. They missed the Wave of Tear. March is going to be able to find it, but he does blink away for green. The Spirit Bear is pushing bottom, but he had to push all the way through as the wave was pretty far behind. The Illusion actually cut the wave, which was huge. So the wave is going to take a little bit longer. Meanwhile, the Kunkka X marks his way back. They're going to use the Moonlight Shadow. And, well, they know because Faded is clearly visible. Green is looking for a
It's like a smoke, though, right?
Yeah.
These heroes are invis behind them. You don't exactly know whether you have an idea, but you can't walk in there.
Wave of Tear. They found green. Swap out. He's dead. He does Yules, but he's dead anyway. He does have buyback. Meanwhile, they're going to see that Mark is close to the base. So is the Spirit Bear. Can they get into the base? Probably. They drop the wall. Sand King buys back. Time to TP home. You need to with the Spirit Bear there. Glyph isn't up yet. The Spirit Bear won't be able to get the Mailer Axe, but he X marks it. Bear's going to come back in. Savage Roar comes out. They need an auto attack. That is so brutal. That's one of the most brutal things you're ever going to see.
Mike, that's the ultimate space creation right there.
They needed the Mirana. If the Mirana's there, she gets one auto attack, and that thing is dead. Almost certainly. So, good effort. Back to a 2K lead for them. They do defend the melee racks. He's not putting the damage on the range racks, which is interesting. I guess he really wants that melee building, to be fair. Okay, Brax. All right. So, it's not time to panic yet for Atomic. I mean, you're a little worried, sure, but they just got a heart onto the DK, so he's very tanky now. He's not going to die nearly as easily as he once did. They have the Crimson Guard Blink of the Darkseer. You know, the Lone Druid Bear has picked up a Shadow Blade so he can get into the base easier. But it does feel like they are kind of stalling. Like, they're kind of going to... I think they're going to start lacking damage pretty soon, right? Between the heroes they have.
Yeah, this Lone Druid Bear, this thing falls off big time, right? They're in full rat mode. They actually can't fight. Unless they get a super, super good initiation where they can, you know, burst Mirana through, you know, her BKB, which seems quite unlikely since they have a Shadow Demon save.
Yeah.
And I don't see them winning any of these fights, and of course, she has Aegis to work with.
It's going to be gone in another 12 seconds, but I don't even know if you can go as Neon Atomic, especially if you lose your Sankey, you won't have the buyback on him, although it's not the most... Actually, none of them have buyback, except for the Bane, which, who cares? And there's Aegis. Bloodthorn just about done for Mirana. She has put her Chrysalis in her inventory. The job right now for Geek Fam is to just keep all of the waves pushed out, try to gain map control, and set up for the next Roshan. That has to be it, because next Roshan, Aegis Cheese Refresher Shard. Who actually used the cheese?
Boy.
Oh, it's on March. March has cheese. Okay. All right. Oh, they almost found the bear. Oh, they almost found it. March is going to come down with the gem. He's actually going to auto-attack it and link it. And the bear is going to Savage Roar and maybe escape. 2 seconds. 1 second. The Shadow Poison is there. They need a stun. They need more damage. They're going to find it. It's dead. Nice big pickup. But he has a resummon. And he does use it immediately.
So him using the resummon gives you a timer. If you can find this bear and kill it one more time, then it's go time. You know, he has nothing to fight with at all.
Yeah, it's a critical moment for this game. Top lane is getting pushed heavily by Atomic, though. Haste Rune at the top rune spot, which is not spotted by the Dire, only spotted by the Radiant. They'll give the Haste Rune to the Bear, which is pretty nice. If they have Demonic Purge, though, nah, it's down on cooldown. That sucks. Maybe the Razor Purge? Nah. Oh my god. The Plasma Field actually almost hit it. He is so lucky. It actually like clipped him and it somehow didn't do any damage. That's pretty insane.
You know, it could be game if this next bear dies before on the resummons. 70 seconds.
Sugo, I think, is about to be spotted. Oh my god. What a lucky
They call him
bastard.
Sneaky Sugo.
He's very sneaky. He's one of the sneakiest secret agent missions I've ever seen. Meanwhile, look at Green. He's going to cut the next wave. He's ready for it.
Dire's bottom shrine is under attack.
Daedalus done for the Kunkka. You remember that hypothetical I talked about, Brax?
Yeah.
I'm just going to go ahead and just say, you know.
Not looking so hypothetical anymore.
Exactly. They call me the psychic.
Okay.
Not really, but I wish they did.
I'll call you the psychic from now on if you'd like.
Perfect. We're going to start casting random other games for a different tournament. You're going to call me the psychic, and people are going to be like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, Mont predicts everything correctly. He knows.
You know, I'm clearly the god.
Look at this lone druid bear about to walk into the base, and Razor, he's close.
Yeah.
They can get some damage
They've
off
got
of this
it.
thing.
Faded hit it. Oh, Shadowblade. They don't have the gem. And he's
Razor
gone.
has the gem, and he's gone.
Yeah, exactly. Good effort. God, the bear is just slippery. It's a very slippery bear. Oh, that's a root. He almost got X off, which would have been nice. Okay, so forget about all the split pushing. You know, buyback's important. Obviously, the biggest thing, Roshan, and we're going to find out how early is this Rosh respawn. Still pretty early, 1 minute and 10. You know, it was a 9-minute Rosh respawn. Not bad.
Yep, not bad at all.
Only buyback that does not exist for Geek Fam currently is the Shadow Demon. So if he dies, he's actually going to have enough gold pretty soon anyway. They almost are going to have all 5 of their buybacks ready. Of course, Green won't ever have it for another 3 minutes. And the Lone Druid, of course, is very far away. So we'll see. The bear coming in. They're looking to take a fight on Schwan. He has BKB. X marks.
Bear's
They're
kinda
baiting
baiting.
it. They're baiting this. They do have another summon, I think. Yeah, he does.
Okay, so they're hoping that there's only like 2 heroes hunting the bear, not the entire team.
Yeah, then they can jump.
Yep. But they can't take team fights at the moment, and they know it. They need to just wrap up. Look at the vision coming out from the side of Geek Fam, and they also have Murano to work with all the time, so these heroes are always constantly searching to find these key pickoffs. Yep, they've got the X on Darkster mid lane.
He has the gem. He cannot afford to die, and he is almost certainly dead. The Nightmare Save does come out. The Demonic Purge is there, of course, and that's the gem, and they see it.
Boy.
And
having no gem against this constant Moonlight Shadow is going to be such a problem.
They have to defend the base back home. Although it is backdoor protected. Not anymore. They need to TP home immediately. They have to glyph for this.
That's the glyph. Okay,
Yeah.
that's a big cooldown.
So even Yaha dies, they still have to use glyph. They X marks the bear, though. They need to get this. Okay, they got the Torrent this time. This is maybe going to be another kill. They Yules. He is invis, but of course they have the Sheep's Guard. They have the gem. They're going to need more damage. This should be no bear for 60 seconds, and they've got it. So that is the timing window where you need to be taking Roche right now, and Faded knows that he's going to run in. Faded, walk into Roche, please. Somebody, go into Roche. I'm begging you.
Right here.
Okay,
Right,
there we go. I got really concerned for a second. Sorry, I got upset.
That's okay. It's not. You're not upset. You're passionate.
I'm very passionate about Dota.
But yeah, there's nothing that Neonatomic can do. They can hope for a steal. Maybe Sand blinks in blindly and gets it.
Oh my god,
but...
they have vision. They should have seen the double damage rune bottom. They had a ward there that just expired for Dire. Forget about it. Roche does 1 million damage, by the way, now. He's actually super strong.
Roche is powerful.
Well, we'll grab the second cheese. Good news, I guess, for Neon Atomic is that they have the Spirit Bear back up in 10 seconds. Bad news is they're about to give a DD to the Dire. Oh, Fiede just like, give me that item. Yes. He's very happy.
Wowzers.
And Ag's done for March, so 15 minutes into the game, and it's a good one so far. 22-24. Geek Fam have struggled their way and made it through, and now have an 8K lead. They're going to Moonlight Shadow. There's no gem for Atomic. They have sentries. Of course, Faded is going to be right on top of one, and they're going to back up because of that sentry. Had it not been there, that could have been really bad. Mark's on the high ground. They're going to Shadow Poison in the wrong direction. They're looking for Faded. They might want to go on him. They'll break the Lincoln Sphere. Mark is sitting on the high ground looking for a wrap from behind. The Kunkka isn't actually there, so they would fight 4 versus 5 if they took a fight now. Faded is going to get Nightmared. He does have Aegis and BKB. SP Center is going to get channeled. Faded pops the BKB. March in trouble. He'll have to pop his own. They've got the grip, but it's on to Bryant, so who cares? Mark will pop his BKB. He's going to get linked up. There's the Demonic Purge. Faded's going to get the kill on the Bane. Bane buys back immediately. Mark is very tanky. They did steal a lot of damage, but March is very low. Faded actually might lose this Aegis. He has to back up. The ghost ship will keep them up and alive. The Spirit Bearer is going top, and they'll have to TP home now. And nice buyback on the Bane, but that's it.
There's no glyph, Mark.
And this, they need to TP home immediately. They get the tier 3, but they cannot find the bear. So,
you know what this bear needs? He needs a BKB.
he really does, because if he gets X, then the bear dies, and that's just
Exactly.
Oh,
If you
he's dead
BKB
anyway. Or no, that was the Streep. Sorry, I thought it was the bear. Anyways,
That's okay. If you BKB on the bear, then he can just use the boots of travel and TP out.
yep. They don't have enough damage to kill it to kill it quickly. So DK now has his level 25 with a 40 strength, and he has a Bloodthorn as well. So the damage is starting to get back up and ready to go for Neon Atomic. And he's so tanky. Like you saw, they got a full Purge and Static Link on the DK. They didn't do any damage to him. I think you might want to invest into a Silver Edge at some point here for one of these teams. Oh, they see the bear. Wave. Swap.
It's hasted.
Swap. Fuel Scepter.
Now it's not hasted.
Now it is not hasted. Savage Roar does nothing.
Now it's dead.
Now it is mega dead. He'll have to resummon it. He will do so immediately. Meanwhile, the Sand King is sitting bottom. Chuan is feeling a little feisty. Giron's gonna... Oh, boy. Look out. Luckily, he used the X marks on himself. So, no kill on Degree. They still have Aegis. For how long is the question? 2 minutes, so still a long time, actually. Top lane needs to get pushed out. They're TPing in the bear. Sugo will TP out. The Kunkka's job right now is to keep the waves pushed as much as possible. He's going to run top, I think, right now and do just that. Still a tricky fight
deal
here.
with this bear all the time.
The wall is going to get dropped. They need to be a little careful. If you drop wall and the Razor has static link damage, do you get the static link damage on the wall illusion?
Nope.
Okay, so that's unfortunate because the Razor that's pretty much all of his damage.
Man, I'm telling you, if this Lone Druid bear had a BKB, he could actually take the racks in front of Kunkka.
He's buying a refresher shard, or orb rather, for Lone Druid, so...
Okay.
I don't know if that's the incorrect... Okay, that bear is alive. Wow, he actually timed that perfectly.
Wow.
That's
Very
insane.
impressive.
What? How did that happen? That shouldn't be a thing. Anyway.
Well, Mont, it happened.
Alright, sorry. You're right. It was a nice play
Thanks.
from Lone Druid. I shouldn't diminish his play there.
Exactly. Scottalicious knows what he's doing.
He does. He was feeling real confident in the lobby. By the way, there's another double damage rune bottom, just in case you wanted to know.
It's that dangerous part of the game with the double runes.
Faded
You
is
get all the crazy
getting
game-winning
run
runes.
at by the Lone Druid. That was awkward. Anyway, 13k lead. I have a feeling this game is going to last for at least another Roshan. I would assume, anyway. And
Yeah, this game's not going to end unless one of these teams make a big, big mistake. But they've been super conservative at this point in the game. There is a growing net worth lead on the side of Geek Fam, but it doesn't really mean that much because they have such a difficult time leaving their base.
yeah, that's the issue. Eventually, Neon Atomic will have enough... oh, they have a DD on the Spirit Bear. Wow, that's... Oh, they have found him. What? Did it miss? He missed.
Oh no!
That's time to buy an MKB.
The Radiance Bird.
He bought the Moon Shard instead. I guess he has a Bloodthorn, so whatever.
Yep.
That's unfortunate. Double Daedalus just about done for the Kunkka. Oh, here we go. Here we go. This could be a huge fight. They're going to use the Burrow Strike. They might find him. The Bloodthorn comes out. The Disruption Save is there. Can they keep him alive is the question. They'll pop BKB. Mark's still really tanky. They swap out the full grip from Sugo. Now Sugo is dead. It's a godlike spree for Faded, and Mark is on the run. He has lost 280 damage. Epicenter getting channeled, and it's a big one. And it is actually going to get some kills here.
Oh,
it's going to be 2. It's going to be at least March down. They get the Vengeful Spirit. Faded is still alive. Green with a big play. The Kunkka is, in the meantime, fighting the Lone Druid in the mid lane. Bloodthorn comes out, gets the kill. Triple kill picked up for Faded. Did they get the gem back on Yaha? They did. They still obviously have another gem, I believe, on the Dire. But giving the gem back to the Radiant is maybe not the play that they wanted to have happen. And that was almost disaster, and it turns a little favorable for the Radiant team.
You know, it looks so bad for Neon Atomic until that Epicenter came in. It did so much damage it actually saved the fight for them. It could have been completely disastrous, but I guess it still is a bit disastrous. Mirana's alive with Shadow Demon to protect her.
They're gonna have to force buybacks here, at least one of them.
Yep.
Like, Yaha can't do anything. He might die soon if he's not careful. Demonic Purge. Surge does nothing.
Can't surge yourself.
They missed the Lincoln Sphere. The Lincoln Sphere blocks the Sand King. That's a buyback. If Sand King dies, the game's over. It won't happen, though. They'll buy back on. Oh, Faded run. Ollie run. That's the gem. Ollie has the gem. Oh, whoa. He's going to try the TP.
Oh, boy.
And he gets Dragon-tailed. And that's the gem down now. Unless he somehow makes it out, which would be a miracle, but he's not going to. There's the gem dropped, and they're going to pick it up. Wow. I know that was really important because they forced the DK buyback, but I guess they haven't bought a gem, so they can just buy it themselves now, and they're going to. They just bought it on Chuan. So it's not the end of the world, you know?
Yep. Still very good for Geek Fam, right? They got 2 buybacks.
Yes. This Mirana has 40k net worth, which is one of the highest numbers I've seen in a long time for that particular stat.
It's a pretty good hero to have a lot of net worth on. You have so many escape tools and just long range to work with.
I am concerned. They are now down to their 5-second BKBs on pretty much everybody that has one. I think Razor's probably... Oh, 6 seconds for Razor. 5 seconds for DK.
That's why we saw the Epicenter completely destroy that team fight.
Yeah.
BKBs are getting real short.
So, even if they kill the Mirana, the Kunkka wasn't even there for that fight. If the Kunkka is there and he gets a crit, he just kills everybody, right? Because it's double Daedalus.
Oh, yeah, double Daedalus, of course.
And he's working on a Silver Edge now, too. Oh, God. Silver Edge on the DK is going to own him. I'm really excited about this game, Rex. I hope you can tell.
I'm glad. The passion's flowing through you, Mont.
I mean, yesterday we said we had some really bad games. Today is already first game out, and it's great. It is a long game. It's 58 minutes in. We still have 3 more games after this, but I'm not complaining. Ooh, Kunkka was trying to bots in. Instead, the Lone Druid Baird kills the Kunkka TPing. He has to just run now down bottom. He's very slow. Luckily,
the problem about this Lone Druid sitting in bases, he's never going to hit 25.
That's true. He's just been level 22 for the past, like, 10 minutes, I'm sure.
Yeah.
He has to wait for the Tome of Knowledges in order to actually get levels. And he might give it to the rest of the team
So he'll hit
anyway.
25 at the 100-minute mark.
Battle Cry grants spell immunity. How long is that duration? Battle Cry. 5 seconds?
5 seconds.
It's not bad. They found the bear again, by the way. He BKB looking for the Mailer Axe. He didn't get it. That's sad.
Oh man, that's so
He
sad.
should have just went for the range axe.
Yep, he thought he could get it. It was only, what, 2 attacks away?
Yeah. He resummons the bear immediately.
That would have been very significant if they could get it, but, you know, if this game goes on long enough, Geek Fam can play against Mega Creeps with Kunkka and this
I agree.
farmed of a Mirana.
I don't even think they're really that concerned about Rax anymore. Obviously, would like to have it more than not, but it's not the end of the world if they lose the buildings. By the way, the Venge has picked up the Agadim Scepter.
Oh, boy.
So, Vengeful Spirit, Vengeance Illusion, obviously swapping non-hero creeps. Is that all it does? Oh, and you get to use all of your abilities, but not items.
Yes, and the cooldown's super, super short.
Yeah, so that's nice. And I'm interested to see how well it works in these fights. He's actually just realizing now that he needs a Ghost Scepter, and I completely agree. And we're getting to that 6-slotted, 7-slotted territory. We don't have a Moon Shard yet on the DK, but it's going to be soon. He's still trying to get Butterfly, but the issue is that if Fada gets off his Bloodthorn and he doesn't have BKB, then that might just be the end of the fight. TP in on the Spirit Bear, alive for... He's got a... Oh, he just bought the Refresher Orb. Even if the Spirit Bear dies, he has it for another... You know, he can just refresh.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Looks like this bear's going to sneak on into mid lane.
Yeah, he'll finish off the Mailer X.
Yep.
It should be backdoor protected still. I think he could still get it through backdoor protection.
They also have Glyph. So that's another big cooldown for them to burn.
Even with the Siege Creep, they're not able to get the building through backdoor protection. Kunkka's doing a great job of doing exactly what he needs to.
Yeah. I'm just waiting for this Lone Druid to get so much gold that he buys Boots of Travel on his hero so we can TP to his Spirit Bird in the trees and then give it the Battle Cry buff.
Oh, yeah. That's true.
That's a big deal.
Yeah, that could be really big. Roche is up, by the way. So the prediction was correct that they were going to get to the next Roche. It certainly happened. I'm not sure how those range creeps survived, but whatever.
Just on point with the predictions.
I am the psychic, you know. They call me the tarot reader.
It needs to roll off the tongue.
It does, right? Psychic doesn't roll off the tongue. Tarot reader does not roll off the tongue either. I was trying to think of something clever. I'm clearly not capable of doing that, though. I don't know what to call it. Let's find a
I
synonym
don't
for
either.
Psychic while this game is
I'm just
still
sitting
going.
here thinking about it. Something that sounds good, but nothing sounds great.
Psychic synonym. All right, here we go. I got thesaurus.com. Although I don't want to miss anybody dying.
Don't worry, they're just doing Roshan. No big deal.
I'm the metaphysical Mott. How's that sound?
Perfect. The metaphysical mod.
Isn't that way better?
It is. I like it.
GRN is going to have a huge blink initiation. They have found the DK, who is
That's
going to
a
get
big
Bloodthorn.
kill.
They need a disruption save. Good swap. Vacuum in. They need to get Roche. They're going to BKB. Faded is going to try to finish this. They'll pop the cheese for March. The Epicenter doing a lot of damage. The Ghost Ship comes out. This is really bad. March needs to be able to get this kill. He gets it. He gets the Aegis. They get Scottalicious. He doesn't have buyback. That's huge. They're going to swap again. March is still alive. They have to back up. The Burrow Strike misses. GRN's in trouble. The Bloodthorn, he pops the cheese. He secured one of them, but he's still going to fall, it looks like. And now Mark is on his own. The disruption save is there. Mark's BKB is going to be done, and he is dead. And that should do it. Geek fam, what a fight. The disruption saves, the play of the supports coming out from Geek fam were absolutely outstanding.
My goodness. The beginning looked pretty good for Neon Atomic. They had the illusion of Mirana the entire time, and it was doing a shit ton of damage. But then the Kunkka Cleave came in with the double Daedalus, one-shot the Sand King in the pit. It wasn't Sand King. Who was it? It was someone in the pit.
Somebody
Darkseer,
died.
that's who it was.
Yeah, it was Darkseer who got owned. He's the only one that has buyback currently. Sugo does literally nothing right now. He doesn't even have grip. If you can get off a full grip, great. You've gripped one target. They have Satanic now onto the Mirana. They're going to finish this. They don't even need to go for... I think they just finish. You just go for tier 4s. I'm surprised.
They don't know about the buybacks, though. They don't want to be in too deep, so they have to play it a bit conservative. Maybe they'll figure it out eventually.
Sugo's dead. Nightmare save will not save him. Darkseer buys back. It's too little too late. Sugo will buy back immediately. They have popped the double Eye of the Storm. Glyph is out. They popped BKBs for Geek Fam. There is still a way they lose this game, and of course that is Scottalicious returning back in 3 seconds. They have swapped Yaha, who will stay alive with the Yule Scepter, but he's still in some trouble. Nightmare save comes out. March taking a lot of damage. He has Aegis. They're still going for tier 4s. This actually, you might have been right about this. They might be in a little too deep for that matter. BKB is done on the Spirit Bear, getting low. He's going to be forced to heal up. I think they might need to back up, actually. DK is back up in 20 seconds. They get off the Entangle into March. He's getting low. He's still alive. They've got Yaha. He's dead. Okay, that's a dieback. Dead for 98. March will TP home. And they're going to go to work on the Ancient. He's going to X March back. The Bear will do the best that it can at this point. They might need to leave. The DK is back up in 5 with his Elder Dragon form. They have March. He's Eye of the Storm in 10. Here we go. Ghost Ship comes out. Sugo in trouble. Nightmare saves him for the time being. There's the Epicenter. And they need to get the throne. They need to hit the building. They're not hitting it. They buy back onto the Oli Shadow Demon. They're still fighting. Just hit the building at this point. They're trying their best. Eye of the Storm comes out, and they're about to find this racer, and they do. All of a sudden, this gets a little tricky. Faded's going to pop the BKB, and that's it. Finally, he hits the building. And that was all he needed to do, and when his BKB was back up, he was able to do it. And Geek Fam turned it around in a 64-minute game. They were down 15K at one point, but they made the comeback, Brax. What a game.
What a game indeed. And Mott, this is only game 1 to start off a wonderful night/morning, depending on wherever you are in the world. But, Jesus, the comeback from Geek Fam was phenomenal this game.
Yeah, absolutely incredible stuff. I was really concerned. I questioned the drafts that they had, the picks that they had between the Razor and the Mirana. I think the unsung heroes were definitely the Sports and the Kunkka. You know, the disruption and the swaps, especially in that last fight, were absolutely critical, Brax.
Oh, yeah, big time, especially when you actually got items and the Aghanim Scepter, too.
Yeah.
You got 2 swaps off in the last fight, saving lives. They had multiple ways to deal with the grip. Bane felt useless in all these fights because even if he gets a good grip off, he just gets disrupted, or they swap him out. And